Sadly, there is no Redgrave and Pinsent in the Coxless Fours. They were surprisingly beaten in Munich, their first defeat since '92, and they've decided to wait until Tim Foster is fully fit to return to competition, which means that the main British hopes rest on Kath Bishop and Dot Blackie. They go in the Coxless pairs. Well, that's the first of our races today. The commentators in Belgium are Martin Cross and Gary Herbert.
And the start of the women's Coxless pair final. In lane 1 it is Belarussia. In lane 2 it is Australia, moving from the top of your picture down. In lane 3 it is Denmark. In lane 4 Great Britain, the British interest of Dot Blackie, Kath Bishop. In lane 5 it is Lithuania. In lane 6 Australia 2. And Martin, the British boat here, they were first at Munich with 8 points, so they've got again to move on and a lot to prove today.
Very, very comfortable start from Dot Blackie and Kath Bishop there. Off the start at rating of 42 strokes per minute, and they look very, very comfortable, very confident in this field, which is quite a strong field with the new Australian boats who've come over just specially for this regatta, Henley and the Lucerne regatta in 3 weeks' time.
So the Australian boats in lane 2 and out in lane 6 closest to us, they're the unknowns here, so they've had a bit of a quick start. So basically the eye is going to be on lane 4, Great Britain, Dot Blackie from Thames Rowing Club. Kath Bishop strokes this pair, coached by Mike Spracklin. Mike coached yourself, Martin, and he'll be keen to get the crew out in front by the first 500 metres.
Yes, absolutely. They had a very, very slow, relatively slow first 500 in Munich, and I can just see the Australian pair, Oslins and Winter there, just pushing ahead of them in the first 500 metres. I think Dot and Catherine haven't really connected as well in the second part of this first 500, and the Australians just moving out there. We know Dot and Catherine have got a good middle of the course, so they're not going to be too worried, but certainly it's an impressive row from this Australian combination.
So we're coming towards 500 metres in this final of the women's Coxless Fours. In first place it is Australia, in second place it is Great Britain, and in third place it is Denmark. First place going to Australia 1, the first of the 2 Australian boats there. But Martin, second 500 metres now, the British pair will just settle into the rhythm. They know they've got a very strong middle thousand, and a length here, we're seeing a length from Australia 1 out in lane 2, but that's still not that bad at this stage.
Well, the Australian pair rowing very well, very comfortably at 33 strokes per minute. You see a shot there of Dot Blackie, concentration on the face. Coach Mike Spracklin's taught her to be really focused in this race. But Australia rowing very, very long, right out past the rigger, and they're building up a lead, almost clear water now, and it's very important in this part of the race that Kath Bishop keeps her head, keeps the rhythm, and gets in contact, or remains in contact at the 1,000 metre mark.
At this stage it's looking like the race is developing between Australia 1 in lane 2 and Great Britain in lane 4. Denmark some 3/4, maybe half a length down in third place from the British boats. Now we just saw a couple of shots of the Australian boat. They're looking left, they're looking to lane 4, watching the British boat. They need a lot of space by the time they get to the 1,000 metres, because they know there'll be a strong charge from Blackie and Bishop. And they were just looking very nice, relaxed rhythm there from the Australian boat. Oslins and Winter, they were in the Australian 8 in '96. They finished 5th in Atlanta, and so they've got a bit of form there and quite a bit of experience, but very nice and relaxed as they come towards 1,000 metres. So as the crews now move out towards 1,000, we can see the British boat now, they've come back, they're starting to plough slowly back on the Australian boat at the 1,000 metres. In the final of the women's Coxless pair, it is Australia 1, leading from Great Britain, who lead themselves from Denmark, and there is clear water between them and the rest of the field. And Australia, who previously led the British in that beginning of the second 500 metres, have been clawed back by the British boat. Now in the third 500, Martin, this is where we really should see Dot Blackie and Kath Bishop move all the way through and just row past the Australian boat.
Yeah, very impressive, relaxed first 1,000 metres from the Australian women. These are the strongest 2 women in their 8, which are racing today at 5 and 6, but you've really got to do something special to beat this woman, Kath Bishop. She's the stroke of the British pair. She was very, very strong in Munich regatta, just in this part of the race, and they've done very, very well, worked very hard just to get back in contact, and they're now easing level with this Australian pair, setting up an excellent finish.
British boat easing level and in fact have gone through Australia 1, and in doing so they just move away from Denmark in lane 3. Great Britain, Doc Blackie, Kath Bishop, previously first at Munich. They've got 8 points to their credit, and looking now they're going to move towards another 8 points unless something drastic goes wrong. They're a very experienced pair here now, timed to perfection. I love watching them. They time everything. In the third 500 metres is where they just make their move, and again it's just sustained and it's nice and relaxed and they have good confidence. But we're looking here now at Australia 1 in lane 2. Again, now they've got to look back and think, can we come in second, Martin, and watch the Denmark crew?
Yeah, the Danish crew still hanging in there. It's those 3 crews for the medals, but it's going to take a lot to get past the British pair. I think now that Kath Bishop has made a move, she's probably got a bit in the tank still for the last 500 metres. Just see her digging in there a little bit before the 500 metres to go, determined just to get a little bit of extra space so they can ease in that last 500.
500 metres to go in the final of the women's coxless pair. It is Great Britain who lead from Australia, who themselves lead by 3/4 of a length from Denmark, and there is much clear water between those 3. Look at the standard and the rest of the field. There must be 4 lengths of clear water as we move now towards the last 400 metres. The British pair, Doc Blackie and Kath Bishop, have timed the race to perfection. They were just in the pack nicely there at 1,000 metres, and their third 500 was devastating. It's moved them out to over a length, about a length or so from the Australian crew in lane 2. But Australia are not dead. They're going to carry on, they're going to start to move. Anything can happen in the last sort of 350 metres, Martin.
Still a controlled rate there from the British pair. Kath Bishop keeping it nice and easy, 35 strokes a minute. We can expect to see her increase that to about 37, 38 as they come into the finish. Still a comfortable lead, almost clear water on the Australian combination, but certainly very impressive the way they use that third 500 metres to really accelerate through, because these Australians are very, very good, very experienced, and they're the powerful women in their age.
Now we are almost about 200 metres from the line. It is Great Britain in the final of the women's coxless pair, the second regatta in the World Cup Series for 1998. And it is Britain now that lead from Australia, who themselves lead from Denmark, and it's those 3 crews that are going to take the medals. But it is the impressive Great Britain, Doc Blackie and Kath Bishop, still looking very relaxed, still looking very smooth. They've increased their rate by a couple of pips. They can see the charge coming from the Australians in lane 2. They are well and truly away from Denmark in lane 3, but it is Kath Bishop and Doc Blackie as they come over the line, and it is Great Britain who have taken the victory here in the women's coxless pair event from, in second place, Australia, and third place, Denmark.
And I think with many more races or many more wins like that, Kath Bishop will be in danger of taking over the equivalent of Steve Redgrave's crown. Certainly very impressive performance, well backed up by Doc Blackie there, and this combination has a real chance of repeating this result in the World Championships later in the year.
But the women's coxless pairs, a fantastic victory, a very good move, timed to perfection, and Doc gets her medal there, all smiles all around, very content, very happy, and Kath now just receiving her medal. They can go home, happy with the progress they're making through this 1998 World Cup Series.